Why can't every day be like this? No simple road. Yeah, no, I've been on that road too.
There's definitely a gremlin living in the studio. It's making popping noises and static sounds.
They get into all
There's
that
not.
electronics.
There is.
No.
Okay, an elf. No? A fairy?
No, gremlins, the ones that get in and mess with things.
It's true. Hey now, No Simple Road family. This is Aaron.
It's Mel.
It's Apple.
Welcome back to
What's up?
the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind, brought to you in collaboration with our friends over at The Grateful Mountain.
The Grateful Mountain.
You want custom tie-dye apparel? That is the place to go. Go to thegratefulmountain.com. They are inspired by the Grateful Dead, and they hook you up with the dopest apparel out there. They've got everything, man.
They've got t-shirts, they've got socks, they've got pants, they've got overalls. I mean, I'm sure if you wanted a beanie, they could do that. Like
scarf,
whatever.
socks.
It is.
He drops nice slaps, some of them stickers here and there, and he also runs a pretty cool Instagram.
This is true. So go follow at The Grateful Mountain or go to thegratefulmountain.com. And you're getting free shipping for all the orders in the U.S. and 20% off with the promo code
NSR20.
That's correct, NSR20. So support our brother Travis over at the Grateful Mountain.
And he's not only talented, what a sweetheart.
Yep.
Support the sweethearts in the world.
This is true.
Yes.
Sweethearts need more love.
Yeah, they deserve it.
Absolutely.
They've earned it.
So, Apple.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, man. How's it going?
I'm super excited. We are recording this Sunday afternoon, right after the Eagles game just ended, and that was a nail biter. That all the way down to the very last play for those football fans out there that were watching.
That's good when a game is like that.
Yeah. It keeps you watching. It's better than a blowout. I wasn't sure if it went the way they were saying it was going to be a blowout. The Eagles, like when you got home, I would have been let's record. The Eagles are winning by 30 points or something. It's boring. It was snow, everything.
That's cool.
I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed watching the game with you.
Yeah, it was a good game. Aaron knew it.
Thoroughly.
Yeah.
I turned it on in my room. Aaron's like, put it on the big TV. I'll watch it with you, which I wanted to do anyway, but I didn't want to make you watch it.
Suffer through a football game.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Why'd you enjoy it?
It was exciting. And knowing that Sax and Apple are both Eagles fans, I was rooting for the Eagles because I'm rooting for my friends.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then there comes the superstition stuff. You don't, like, before the game started, me and Andrew were texting like "Go Birds," and then you don't text the rest of the game until it's over. Like, you don't get cocky and be like, "Dude, we're gonna win."
Dude, they got it.
Yeah,
But there wasn't always texting, so
Well, that's a new superstition.
yeah. Back in the day, I guess it would be like, don't make a phone call. Don't make a
send a
landline.
Don't talk
call.
about it, okay?
Yeah. There's a lot
Just
of
be about it.
superstitions that come into it.
So what happens now? Like they destroy Philadelphia today, right? Like the fans go and freak out everywhere.
Yeah, they party down and have a good time. Hopefully, don't beat up any Rams fans in the parking lot or anything.
So funny.
Sports fans can get a little erratic sometimes. So.
Well, I mean, and then what? Like they have like 20 more games, or I don't know.
No,
man.
they got one. Next weekend's the championship, so they're playing Washington next week in Philly for whoever wins that game goes to the Super Bowl. There's one game left tonight, the Ravens and the Bills, which is being played in Buffalo, and I think it already is a snowy game.
Dude, it's gnarly.
It's just getting ready to start.
slippery.
That's going to be a really good game. They're like evenly matched. I just looked at it. It's like 47-53% of like they're very evenly matched.
Well,
and
speaking
tough
of
teams.
of football and the Super Bowl and all that, we saw the Disco Biscuits this weekend. It was our second time seeing the Biscuits, and holy shit, man. Before we went, I was telling Mel I had read an article or something somewhere saying that like the Disco Biscuits are the unsung heroes of the jam band scene. They've been doing it forever, and basically they've created their own genre of jam music.
Can you just say I kind of hate those articles that say stuff like that? Not the ones that are informational. The ones that are like, well, they don't get their own due. All that, like, shut up. Every band, like, every band is different. They're not all going to reach whatever top, this infamous top there is. And you were like, well, what about Fish? And what about Grateful Dead?
And what about Billy Strings?
There's
and what about Goose?
Certain people that are exceptional, and then there's other people that are incredible. That's what it is.
But after seeing them again, I would say they're exceptional.
They are exceptional.
They nasty.
And they're at the top of many other bands that try to do what they're doing. A lot of other bands are including DJs, like stuff like that.
They weren't including it. There was no DJ up there. That was them.
No, I'm just saying like that. The sound that they've acquired, people are trying to mimic that now. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so whether they're using a DJ, whether they're using a full band, they are exceptional. They're incredible. They've been doing it for a long time, and they've got mad chemistry, and they're literally seeping with creativity every time they get on stage.
It was an entire sensory experience seeing them.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the music. It's their lights. It's the crowd.
They created some kind of like a fort kind of a feeling.
Like a force field.
And it also felt like getting into a jacuzzi.
What do you mean?
Like when water is all around you and it's warm, it felt like that. It felt like sound all around you, and it felt warm and comforting and like good.
And then if somebody turned the bubbles on, but turned them on past like where they're supposed to be at the top, where it's just boiling, that could be also them too. You know what I mean?
Not really.
Because they take the vibe like to the point where it's almost funny.
Oh yes.
It's like holy shit, we can't go any higher, but they're doing it.
Yes.
How the fuck? Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun show, and it was a kick-ass show. And the lights were incredible. I tried to keep my eyes open a little bit more for this, and I felt like I told the guys, I was like, it felt like I was like in Buck Rogers or some kind of like sci-fi older kind of 80s like movie or TV show where like those awesome, laser lights were just kind of crossing, the midsection, and like it felt fun. It was for me, I had a long work week. I mean, I'm sure everybody on a Friday night, you want to bust out, have a great night. And I needed that more than I realized I did, because as they're singing and doing their thing, I just was able to unpack so much that I had on my mind. Like it felt like what they tell you during meditation is like these thoughts come and let them go. I didn't even intend for these thoughts to come, but it was like they came and I was able to like nurture them, and then they would leave, like acknowledge them, and then they were gone. Like it felt progressive for me. I had a really incredible time that night. Like it felt, I felt like I worked some stuff out.
I mean, that's what a good show should do, right? Like,
well, I mean, a good show should just, a good show just is like, good sounds, good vibes, good, music, whatever. This was like beyond a good show. This was like, I was able to, like I said, work on stuff that I was like contemplating, and then it just felt better. There was like resolve to it.
That's fucking dope.
I know.
Thank you, Disco Biscuits.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Bryce? Was he running light? I saw a post from behind the board at Disco Biscuits.
Didn't see him. We were standing right next to the board, too.
Yeah, okay. But I also didn't look over at the board.
No, I didn't either.
Okay.
We saw Chase, and we saw...
Sponge Guys?
Yeah. You saw some people.
Yeah,
we saw some people, but we didn't see Bryce.
You know, it's cool too. I was telling Sean this today, to be new to a band, to where like when they're transitioning from one song to another, I don't know those songs or transitions, but the fans do, and you hear them like, oh shit, you get those rushes going through, and you're like, what's happening? And that's cool to like be new to that now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Start learning the lingo of a band and everything. And they're celebrating their 30th year as a band.
Holy
they started
cow.
in 95.
See?
I had to look real quick too, because I remember when we talked to them, they are from Philly and they are Philly's fans.
Oh, shit.
So there's a tie in there also.
There was, what was I going to say about that?
I don't know what. You don't remember?
Shit.
I'll tell you what, this is the first show in my memory that as long as I can remember, that when they finished the second set before they did the encore, I was like, holy shit, I'm 53 years old.
You felt your age?
I was feeling myself. Yeah. Like there's no way I can keep dancing. Everything was like kind of achy. And I was like, oh shit.
Well, like
I'm fucking worn out.
At the time when everything was going down, I wanted to dance like hard, but I didn't have the energy to. Like I said, I had a long week. Their music is such that you can like crunk out, like fucking get hyphy and like hands, wrists, stomp, like
Spin
all
around.
that. Or you could just do like a toe tap and a shoulder shrug, and it hits just as hard. Like it makes sense to do any of it. And I appreciated that so fucking much, because you get into their vibe, and it can be however you want to move.
And they are masters of moving that vibe too.
And I'm not saying they're the only band that has done that or can do that. I just really noticed it with them, and I loved every second of it.
I will say though, I felt like that, and I drank some water, and I'm like waiting for them to come back out, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm just going to like bob back and forth a little bit when they come back on. I can't.
You can't do that.
And then next thing I know, I'm fully fucking getting after. I'm like, oh, well, I guess music does get me
got
in.
Picture Aaron. You're like, oh, I'm just going to do 50%. You don't do shit.
No,
like that.
I remember
50%.
what I was going to say about, like you were mentioning about not knowing their music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At one point, I was like really contemplative, and their lyrics were really speaking to me. And some guy behind me was singing his heart out. And so I got to hear the lyrics clearly, because, you know, sometimes the sound, it was good. It was really good. But sometimes you still can't hear every lyric or every word enunciated, you know. But this guy behind me was singing, and I was like, oh my God, his singing, which was their singing, was helping me to resolve or put into place that stuff that I was thinking about. So at one point I turned around, I was like, man, thank you for singing. And he like smiled, the biggest smile, and was like, you know, just kind of like give me a pump fist, you know. And it was just really cool. We haven't been to a concert in a while, and even though we love music, the show is about music. Sometimes when you haven't been in a while, you forget how strong the medicine is. Mm-hmm. And I know I did. I'm speaking for myself in this specific instance.
You even said it before we went.
Yeah, I did. I was just referring to, you know, I need to be reminded, because honestly, I could like get task oriented in my life with other things and just not think about it.
Yeah.
Not
forget the importance.
Yeah. Like, you know, like who cares who's coming? It's no big deal. Like I need to just grind and do my thing. But then you interrupt your life and you go and you do that. And then the reward for doing that is so grand. It just really revived me this weekend. The Disco Biscuits really revived me. And then like, so at the end, I didn't stay for the last song. I had to go pee. Like I held it as much as I could.
That was a journey.
And so I go pee, and the merch booth is totally empty because everybody's, you know, at the show listening to the last song, of course. They have this dope disco ball that's like a tip jar, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, I know, right? The guy. So then I go to the bathroom, come back, and then I see the bag, their dope merch is awesome, but I see the bag and I look up and I see this t-shirt and it says nasty but good.
They nasty but good.
And I have this joke with a friend of mine at work where she's one time she was like, how you feeling? I was like, I'm feeling nasty today. And so from now on, she's always like, are you nasty today? Or and so it was just like a funny thing. So I like grabbed a shirt and then realized bag had that on it too. That because it has
It's hilarious.
So I got their merch and I'm sprung on the Disco Biscuits, and I want to see. I would have liked to go last night, but it was too much. Like it's too much. Yeah, I was worn out. Just in my head, I wanted to, not my body. You know what I mean? I was like, I would love to go and see what part 2 is about, but part 1 was more than enough.
Good on them too for coming here and doing Portland right. They
at the beginning of the year and
sold out
down
nights, and then Brownie going and DJing at the Get Down. Like they came and treated Portland right. And
you during the encore, like I'm dancing, and you turn to me and you're like, I have to go to the bathroom. I've been holding it forever. And I was like, okay, I'll go with you, and not thinking like I'm in it right now. And we walked out into the hall and I realized how high I was. I was like, oh shit. And I walked with you to the ladies' room, and then I realized I've been holding my piss all night too. And the men's room is like down this long hallway. And it was like walking in those dreams where the hall keeps getting longer and longer.
It is a track there at the Revolution Hall to go to the men's room.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not saying that's good for you guys, but like usually the men's bathroom's always first and the women's bathroom is like down the fucking hallway to the right. I love the Rev Hall for that. I appreciate putting a women's bathroom next to the venue area so that you can go.
Yeah. Walking down there was like in another world. Finally get my business done. And I'm coming back and I'm like, oh shit. If I lose Mel now, everybody's going to be coming out. I'm never going to find her. I'm starting to panic. Like, oh my God.
And then never going to find her.
I'm never going to find her. We're going to be lost in Portland forever for the rest of our lives.
She doesn't know how to get home or anything.
And then boom, there you guys are.
Well, like I took a little bit longer in the bathroom because I walk in, me and Jamie walk in, and the bathroom was a fucking disaster.
Oh, the men's room was
There was
vile.
like tissue, paper all over the floor. And I turned around the corner and I was like, what? No one cleaned up around here? And Jamie just started laughing, and I picked like little two paper towels from the dispenser, and I just picked up all those things and threw it away, and it looked like nothing ever happened. It's incredible how dirty something can look with just trash on the floor. Yeah. Then you pick it up and then they're like, oh okay.
And it seems like people lean into it. They go in the bathroom, they see a couple paper towels on the ground, so they just throw theirs on the ground. And then everybody does it, and then it's just
and it wasn't overflowed or anything like that. It was just like, you fucking missed. Like, put it in there.
Try harder.
I know. It's fine. It's fine.
This one,
it was my job.
I wasn't able to make this one, but I was bummed because I have not seen a show since September Goose.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's been like going on 4 months, but we have stuff coming up. Plus I had a work thing. I worked a cannabis event, which was awesome. I had a great time. So I didn't feel completely left out.
When we got home,
I had to take care of business. Oh, I was so big. It was called the Blaze Ball, and it was a thing for only people that work in the cannabis industry. Was it like,
did you get dressed up? Like you had to dress up?
Yeah, he had to be a bud.
They did have a theme. It was a space theme, and they encouraged everybody to wear like if you have any astronaut stuff, like follow the space theme, which a lot of people did dressed up. There was probably about 12 people that had like astronaut suits and stuff.
Oh my God.
I threw on my Funk You shirt with the astronaut like falling on it, which was cool and lit up in all the black lights. But it was fun. And I got a lot of free stuff, and it was probably the most stoned I've been in a while.
It was hilarious. I texted you when we were in the Uber on the way home because we had friends meeting us here, and Mel and I were in an Uber. And I texted you, we're coming in hot. And I didn't know if you would be up or not.
When you texted that, I was asleep. Darwin woke me up like right around the time of that text. We were both crashed on the bed, and then he needed to go to the bathroom when you text that. And Yeah, and then I was up when you guys got home.
Dude, you looked like somebody had like.
I wanted to hang with
your
you guys.
glassy eyes.
Yeah. I looked at you guys. I was like, good to see you all. I'm on a different trajectory. I couldn't even. My head was like a broken bobble.
That's hard when
head.
you're dead asleep and then people come like from a party.
Yeah, and you ate a bunch.
Vibes are all high.
You ate a whole bunch of rosin stuff. I probably ate like close to 100 milligrams.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Why?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because like, as everybody knows that listens to the show, I'm the guy that if I eat 1 milligram of THC, I'm in an existential crisis for the night.
Yeah, demons are coming to get you.
I'm dying for sure. I can't breathe. I'm going to call the police on myself, all that. But what does that do to you? Like that much weed for somebody that's, you smoke every day.
Yeah.
What does it do?
My tolerance for edibles is low. Usually the most I take is like 20 milligrams. So and this was stuff that I had stuff that like wasn't tested.
Right.
So don't know how many. I'm just guessing because it got me so high. Like I told you the next day I was on the verge of like a panic attack almost, like on the edge of like, oh my God, I'm so high. Like, and finally, and then it wore off and I went to sleep.
It's almost like taking psychedelics.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I felt like I'd taken like probably half a hit of acid or a nice handful of shrooms, and it stayed with me. I woke up yesterday morning with the stoner. I was still stoned when I woke up. It was like, holy shit.
Apple walks out of his room. He's like, hey, what's up? Like all low energy. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, I'm still fucking high. My head feels like it weighs 10,000 pounds.
But it's different delivery system, like if you're smoking versus you're, eating an edible or something, it's completely different.
It does.
Edibles are more psychoactive. Yeah.
Changes into another chemical.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wonder.
Yeah. So I had fun. I'm bummed I missed the show kind of, but
I think it's good, Apple.
Business.
Like you have worked so hard for these 8 years to, I don't think you did it on purpose, but to make a name for yourself, like in this industry, it just kind of happened naturally for you. And I feel like this is like your life's purpose, like to be able to help people and to know inside and out. And the thing is like, it's not just, stuff, like you're genuinely interested in it. So you like
passionate
reading
about
stuff about it. You're like trying it, even if you don't like taking a bunch of edibles or like certain dabs or whatever, you still try it so that you can have like knowledge about it. And it's cool because a lot of people have no clue where to even start. They're like,
very
there's bath bombs. I never heard of that. Like that kind of stuff is invaluable for people that are like wanting to test the waters and not like go so deep into maybe like pharmaceutical stuff. And then, have somebody like you talking about it really demystifies it and gives like a true warning, like, oh, don't do that, do this, That's really cool that you have gotten so much.
I like it. What made me feel good when you told me, you were like, I'm proud of you. I'm like, for what? You're like, for you missed the show, but you took care of business. And it was a thing with all the people you've known for 8 years.
Yep.
And it felt really good. Every time I go to something, like I realize how many people I know and know me. And plus I love being older. Old people, young people, like everybody kind of trusts me and knows I know what I'm talking about at this point.
Very true.
Well, when you do something for a long time, like when I do my day job, like been doing it for over 20 years, and like I kind of forget that I know a lot.
Yeah.
All of it's just like common knowledge to me because I've been doing it.
It's like the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, take a minute and think about that. Like, dude, you're like an encyclopedia when it comes to that.
Well, and just like you're like that, like with other stuff too, you're a researcher by nature. So that stuff, you're like a Rolodex about it.
Yeah, I can ask you anything and you're like, oh yeah, that's a cross with this and that. And it's got this much THC, but you can't have more than that. And blah, blah. Like, holy shit, dude.
Well, and being able to put somebody at ease, that's a huge like boon. To like make somebody be like, oh no, you'll be fine. It's okay. You just need to do this, this, and this, or you give them hope, like, oh, try this RSO. Maybe. Yeah. I just think that it's really cool that you've not only found your niche, but like own it Like you really fucking own it.
And that can happen a lot. Like these people that are not familiar with it can have a bad experience the first time, and then they're like, "This is not for me."
Yes.
It's like, no, that was one thing.
We just didn't find your thing.
Exactly.
You need somebody to give you suggestions, and then you figure out what works for your body, your head, everything.
Yeah, and just be willing to try.
You got to figure it out.
So after not going to a show since September, you ready?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad because that's the other thing too, missing it. We got stuff coming up that we're going to talk about here, which I am very excited about. I think we all are.
The dogs are coming to town.
Yeah, man. Dogs in a Pile are going to be here this coming weekend. If you're here in Portland, they are playing at the Get Down on
Whoop-de-whoop.
the 25th and the 26th.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
Getting 2 days of dogs, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Sponge is opening.
Yeah.
For one of the nights. No, they were opening for Eggy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're open. No, Sponge is opening for dogs in Eugene and Seattle.
Something.
Okay.
I don't know. Dogs in a Pile are playing Portland.
Yeah.
That's what we know.
Yeah, and we are going to see them on Saturday night.
Yeah. I was thinking about finding Dogs in a Pile online during COVID. Like the first time I saw them in a reel. And it was like, they were like kids to me. It seemed like kids. And they were doing Grateful Dead covers. I was like, oh, that's cool. Let's get them on the show. And we had them on like once, and then we had them on again a couple, like maybe a year or two later. And now. And
then they came and stayed with us they've
blown up.
That's what I mean.
Twice, I think.
They've really, really blown up, especially, doing that thing at the Cap with Eggy and, Pete Shapiro promoting them. And
it's wild.
It's incredible to see what they've done with their talent and how far they've gone in such a short time.
And I mean, if you're just watching from Instagram, if you're watching their Instagram feed, you see like there's new stuff up all the time. They're playing shows that can seem like nothing. Those guys are busting their ass,
busting their hump
where they're at.
Well, and I feel like Dogs is very special because they're a lot of our listeners and them. They're like there's a lot of closeness. There's a lot of tie-in, exactly. So I feel like we're rooting for them, because they're an awesome band, but we're rooting for them because they're part of the No Simple Road family.
Totally.
And there's a lot of people that love them within that family and want them to, elevate. And it's really cool.
I always feel it's extra cool too. Like when we went to Peach Festival, when you get to meet band members' parents.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Jimmy's dad.
Like, especially us being older, like I'm older than a lot of these younger people's parents and stuff, and you get to meet Jimmy's dad and like have his seal of approval, like what you guys really are doing. It makes it really special when the parents are like rooting for you too.
And when they say stuff like, because I remember he was like, I've heard a lot of people interview them and nobody has gotten out of them what you guys have.
That's so fucking cool.
That's not the first time people have said that to us, but it's every time it's said, it's memorable because I think, okay, if somebody was interviewing my kid for their, talents and their successes, I'm going to listen with different ears. You know what I mean? I'm going to like really be scrutinizing. And so if I love it, I'm grateful and appreciative to this interviewer or to
you treated my babies right.
Yeah, man. So it's really cool to get that like stamp of approval, and then we support them. We love them. We talk about them. We announce their shows. We have them on the show. We let them stay with us. We buy tickets to the show. We tell our friends. Like
I can't wait. I can't wait to see. This is like my first time getting to see a true like just Dogs in a Pile, not at a festival show.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see them do two sets.
Yeah, when we saw them at Skull and Roses, they crushed amazing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't their show.
And they were doing just Grateful Dead stuff.
And it was a festival set.
Exactly.
It wasn't two sets, long time. Well, and then we turn around and a week later we got another amazing show coming up.
Digging Dirt on
Wait,
what?
What?
We saw Dogs at the Jack London review. And it was their show.
Oh yeah,
right.
that's
You're right.
True.
That's
But
not
that was
true that you said
that was a weird night too because they were staying with us. We
you
left
still
early.
saw them.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
you guys were gone somewhere when I went with Connor last year and saw him at the Get Down.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
were.
Forget you. Yeah,
Were we
you
in
guys-
Mexico?
I think we were in Mexico.
I think you were.
Yeah.
We're not going to Mexico.
No, we're gonna stay and watch dogs.
Anyway, I'm not sad. Anyway, Friday the 31st, digging dirt
Zach and the boys back in town.
at the Get Down again.
Yeah. Yep.
Actually.
Get Down.
We're gonna be camping out at the Get Down.
Well, I will say, and not because we're friends with Blake, but the Get Down has the best sound in Portland. Period.
Yeah, and it's gotten a reputation for that with bands, listeners, everything. People know.
Yeah, that room, it's like crystal clear, great bass. It's not overdriven. It's not fuzzy. Anywhere you stand in the room is perfect.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Except behind the
post. Yeah, don't stand behind the post. And then Mel and I are going to see Reggie Watts.
Oh yeah,
on February 6th.
I'm super excited about that.
That's after having him on the show, I can't wait to go see him do his thing.
Mhm.
Again, we saw him on the stage at Fair, but
We didn't hear
much, and I couldn't feel my body, and I was dying from heat.
Yeah, everybody.
Well,
was
and I couldn't literally
borderline
see.
heat stroke. Oh yeah, it was impossible to get up in there and
Yeah,
see.
it was a nightmare. And then we got Eggy Friday the 14th of February at
The Get Down.
Mississippi Studios.
Oh, Mississippi. Oh, that's a good one.
And then the following night, we've got an evening with Dark Star Orchestra at everybody's favorite, the Roseland.
What? The 14th and the 15th?
Oh, I thought it was somewhere different this year than Roseland.
Nope. And then on the 17th,
What?
yeah, Daniel Donato at the Wonder Ballroom. It's a packed next month
Crap.
of stuff.
February's pumping.
And it's all No Simple Road family.
yeah.
Like Dark Star, Daniel Donato, Eggy, Reggie Watts, Dogs in a Pile. They've all been on the show.
Yeah,
I was fucking tripping out.
Daniel
on that the other
Donato's
day.
mom's a Patreon of ours.
That's right.
And Daniel Donato holds a special place in my heart. Like out of
you have to
everybody.
say his name correctly.
Daniel Donato?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel Cutie
There you
Donato.
go, yeah.
He's such a heady person, and his talents are so visceral. He's electric. He is an electric human being, and I just love him. I love him. Forget about him being a musician or anything. I just love Daniel, and I'll support him all the time. Every time.
I think he wins the award for, if not the headiest, one of the headiest cats we've ever spoken to. Like he's on another level 24/7.
Yeah.
He's also up there in musicians like doing sit-ins.
Oh yeah.
Like where he has played with so many bands now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
For real.
Pretty incredible.
Damn it. I had something I was going to say and now I can't remember.
Uh-oh.
You gotta look at your phone to remember.
When you're having a senior moment.
It's gone.
I've got lots of those.
Also,
moments.
one more.
Okay.
Tuesday, the 25th of February, Little Stranger is playing the Crystal Ballroom.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Little Stranger at Crystal Ballroom?
Mhm.
Oh,
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Portland's kicking it
It's
up.
turning up.
Yeah. I hope that one works out because we missed them when they were in town. Like we were gone out of town somewhere when they
Little
came
Stranger.
last year.
They're fun. They bring a vibe.
Yeah.
They turn the place loose, and they're silly and exciting, and I love them.
And they always
too.
make us feel good because they're fans of us just like we are of them. We've had several great conversations, gotten shout outs from the stage.
Yeah, that was sick. At
Yeah,
Beach.
man.
That was
That was like the first
core memory
That was like
moment.
the first shout out we ever got from the stage. We were like, what?
Dude, okay, one of the coolest things about No Simple Road is the growth of No Simple Road. And Aaron, I know sometimes it can seem like growth should come with other things.
a bunch of money.
A bunch of money,
Fat
a bunch
checks.
of accolades, a bunch of, shiny, bright stuff. But honestly, like, this is the best kind of way that I feel like No Simple Road gets its due.
It's from the heart.
We have true relationships with the guests,
Mhm.
and people know when they come to Portland to hit us up. And they do.
Yeah.
People hit us up all the time. And I love that because we're cultivating relationships, you know? And when our time comes, which it will come as far as whatever, you know, money or success out there, whatever, it's going to be lit. It's going to be on. But this is like grassroots. This is good stuff that we're doing. And I don't think that anything needs to be rushed. It's coming right when it's supposed to.
I've come to the realization that there's nothing I can do to rush this.
No, it's
We
like
got to keep doing it.
It's like sourdough. You got to wait.
And we've built a hell of a foundation.
Yes, Apple.
That house is being built on.
Speaking of sourdough.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Speaking of nice segue.
When we came home from the Disco Biscuits, we were partying with our friends, and it was about 2:00 in the morning. We were pretty deep into it at that point, and I realized that I had loaves proofing in the oven, or in the fridge, and I was like, "Oh shit, I could bake sourdough right now. I want to see if I can do it like this," and I fucking killed it.
Yeah. It was amazing.
That shit was so good.
It was.
Who took the loaf home?
Our friends.
Oh, okay.
The Raverts took the.
Oh yeah, they're the only ones here. That was a dumb question. They were the only ones here.
Yeah, I gave them.
I got up in the morning, saw you'd cooked it, and there's kind of a
Left
mess
a
in the
huge
kitchen.
mess.
And I went looking. I was like, "Ooh, fresh slice." But
Nope.
Nope. What? Oh, okay,
Sorry,
they
buddy.
took it. But and then you hooked up the other one.
Yeah.
So
It was a trip to be high and bake my own bread and like be into what went into the bread, and then like
give it a different perspective
total
on
different
the whole
perspective on feeding my friends and my family, and like giving you guys something real that had like been worked with my own two hands. That was alchemy.
Yeah.
Like it was a whole trip I was having in the kitchen by myself with my loaf of bread. This is fucking awesome.
Woo. Oh,
Yeah, man.
it's party bread.
Speaking of like from the heart, we have a new Patreon member.
Another one?
Yeah. Jordan
What?
B.
Jordan B. Thank you,
$10.80.
Jordan B.
10.
National
1008.
treasure.
Yeah.
1008
Yeah, man.
or no 1080,
1080. Yeah.
but 1080.
That's right. Man, Jordan.
Thank you,
brother.
Jordan B,
Woo-woo.
for being part of the No Simple Road family and showing up and showing out, man.
If you're not asleep listening to this at this point, because he did say that he uses us to help himself fall asleep.
Perfect.
I know. I'm down. Do it.
Perfect.
Jordan,
That's why I stay.
you're having great dreams right now. You're
Exactly.
flying over New York City.
This is what I was going to suggest the other day. It's like we need to do like a episode to just send a like a joke kind of.
Okay.
Like starting out like, this is Welcome to Jordan's Bedtime Podcast.
Okay. I'm
Brought to
down
you
to do
by
it.
him. So I really enjoyed
you
the
by
show. Just do
Soma.
like monotone, like we had such a blast the other day.
I think he would love it.
I think he would too.
You know, for everybody out there that's ever signed up on Patreon, thank you for doing that for us. It helps us continue to do the show, but it also, I don't know, it does something for our hearts. And
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like it's the equivalent of like your parent or someone that you respect looking at you in the eye and saying, "I believe in you."
yeah,
That's what that is. It's like, I believe in you, and here's a however much I can afford to keep it going and to see where it goes. That's what it does for me.
yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
And aside from the monetary part of it, I think that that is much more important than the money.
Yeah, the belief. And that, I mean, we've said it a million ways, but like when you pay for something versus not pay for something, there is you're invested.
Yeah, you have a vested interest in the thing.
You've literally decided this has value. And when something doesn't have value, you're more likely to like, mistreat it or leave it around, or
It's not in the same
not care for
category
it.
as stuff you pay
No, you
for.
may still like it, but you just don't treat it the same way. But when something has value, you like clean it and put it away and make sure.
Take care of it, yeah.
You replace the stuff when it gets broken. And
I'm part of this.
yeah, man. And so that's what that does for us. It lets us know that people out there believe in us and they want us to keep going and that they appreciate what we're talking about or saying. I mean, look, man, after 8 years of doing this almost, it's sometimes you run out of shit to say.
This is true.
Sometimes you run out of like happy attitude to have on air. Sometimes you just run out of interviews that you want to do. And we have to continuously dig deeper. And that's what Patreon helps us do. It helps us to dig deeper. We're like, dude, these fucking people are still on Patreon, getting new Patreon every week for the last 4 weeks. We've gotten a new Patreon. So it's cool. It's like elevating our energy toward the show. It's like, no, man, you got to keep going. You got to keep seeing what else is out there. Keep doing it. Find a new artist, find a new author, find a new somebody and bring it out there. And it's dope.
Perfect timing too, because those deep, like November, December, even in the beginning of January, it's like time to be home. Yeah. And it's starting to feel
winter,
like, it's starting to feel like we're coming back out of that and hitting shows again, and that just adds fuel to the fire. Those people that like let you know they believe in you, like, all right, let's get back out there and get back to it, man.
And it makes a huge difference too. I know, but before we did this podcast, since we started it, I do more donation. Like when the Wikipedia thing comes up, the local PBS station, I used to always think, what the fuck is my $1 or $2 gonna matter? That's nothing, $1 or $2. But when you have all the people, like Aaron always says, like, if all of our listeners gave $1, oh my God, we could do so much.
Yeah.
We would really be able to do a lot and everything. So, I mean, those dollars add up.
Totally.
When people, I do that all the time for PBI. I do it for
OPB.
Is that the jazz with the jazz station?
KMHD.
Yeah. When they have those, it's like, I can give $1 to $5.
They play dope music.
Oh yeah. That jazz station, our jaz station is incredible.
Count on that a lot.
Before we go, I have to say too that and I realized this when we first moved up here from Vegas, when we saw Dark Star here for the first time. Portland music crowds are fucking awesome.
Yes.
They are there for the show and in it deep from the jump, man. At that Biscuits show, there was no fucking around. Like the minute it started,
it was a different crowd.
Yeah.
It was a different crowd. And the way that I see that it was different was you're saying that they're there for the show. Like there was a little bit of silliness right behind us, but everyone was locked in. Mm-hmm. If they were drinking, they weren't getting loud. They weren't getting crazy. It was like all eyes and all attention and all focus was in the front of the room. Mm-hmm. It felt so like zzz.
Laser beam.
Yep.
Yep, totally.
Laser focus.
Yeah, and it felt good to all have that common focus. Because, when you're in a concert, there's so many people doing different stuff, like talking, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it been? There was none of that shit. Mm-mm. They kept that outside, and it was really, really, it was lovely.
It feels good to be proud of the town that you live in for that kind of stuff. Like, I love living here, and being a part of Portland is one of my favorite things, but being proud of the crowd, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
We got it.
It's like your crew.
Yeah.
But we're all bringing it.
It was like that guy that you met in line who started talking to you. Remember?
Hawaii,
and he was saying he had gone through another, venue, and they were had to go walk through.
Shook down.
Yeah, got shook down, had to walk through the detector and all that. And then they're just scan your ticket.
Rev Hall's like, here's your stamp. You can go in and out. We don't care. But then there was, whatever, man.
You didn't see nobody getting kicked out. Mm-mm. Nobody was getting crazy. You didn't see any smoke in the, it was respectful
Portland
all
keeps
the way.
It pretty under control and everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, enough so that it sounds like Fish may be finally coming back here. Once they make their announcement.
Dude.
What, you're saying it's Tuesday again?
I'm not going to say anything because I'll just be wrong again. But yeah, Tuesday.
It's coming soon.
Well, maybe they were going to do it that Tuesday, but the fires probably prevented them from doing that. Yay, here's an announcement while everything's, burning. Yeah, totally. And that sucks to, people were getting pissed off at Kim Kardashian for trying to sell shit during the middle of the fires.
You take a break.
It's true. Yeah. Take a fucking break. You don't need to sell anything right this minute.
A little.
Also, Fish Mexico is in, a couple weeks or whatever. If anybody wants to give Mel and I a package, just let us know.
I'll take one too.
We'd really like to go.
Don't count me. I mean, if you want to give No Simple Road a package,
okay.
We'll shout you out. We'll whatever.
Or not if you don't want that.
Show.
I don't even need a room. I'll sleep on the beach, whatever.
You're definitely gonna want a room after the show.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm joking, but I'm serious. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're saying it in jest, but no.
Well, you know what?
I've heard stranger things happen.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Wayne Gretzky said that. Boom. Yeah. All right, Eagles fans, congratulations.
Yeah, go Birds.
We will see all of you at Dogs in a Pile on Saturday. And
Disco Biscuits, thank you so freaking much for coming correct, coming strong, helping me clear my mind, giving me some new vision, and having a really awesome dance party.
And also, take care of each other, man. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate. And you know what? This week, try something you haven't tried before. Try something new. Spice it up. We love you all. Peace.
But it's a burden. Valley needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
This is Krista Makes, guitarist and vocalist for Less Than Jake, and host of Krista Makes a Podcast, a songwriting podcast where every week I'm joined by an amazing guest to break down the writing, recording, and release of one iconic song from their career. In our giant evergreen back catalog of episodes, we've had rock legends such as Dee Snider and Huey Lewis, punk rock favorites like Mark Hoppus, Fat Mike, and Brett Gurewitz, and up-and-coming artists of today such as Liz Stokes of the Beths and Genesis Owusu. We've had guests from all genres and styles of music, and I guarantee that if you peruse our back catalog, you'll see several episodes that'll make you say, man, I gotta hear that. Whether you're a fan of music or a creator of music yourself, you'll take away a whole new appreciation for the songs you know and love. Krista Makes a Podcast is available for free on all the places you could possibly listen to podcasts, and new episodes come out every Monday.